Look. Right now you're sitting here. Maybe you're on your phone, maybe another tab is open in the background, maybe half your mind is somewhere else entirely. Maybe you had a hard day. Maybe you're tired, but you can't quite name where that tiredness is coming from. There's a voice inside you, isn't there, one that says, I'm already fine. Wait a second. Are you really? Today I'm going to tell you something nobody has been able to say to your face. The people around you won't say it. Your family won't say it. Your friends won't say it, because either they don't notice, or they notice but saying it doesn't serve them. Being too good is the quietest and most merciless way to destroy yourself. Let's sit with that for a moment. What do I mean by too good? Can a person really be too good? Can't they? This is one of the most widespread misconceptions people carry. Growing up, they're taught these things: share, help, think of others, be selfless. And these aren't wrong, but they're incomplete. Nobody teaches the other side, when to stop, who to say no to, where to draw your own line, and it's in that gap where this illness grows. Think about it. Last month, last week, it might have even been yesterday. That night your friend called. Said it was urgent. You were already drained at that hour, had been drained for hours, there was a heaviness in your bones, but you still said, okay, I'm coming. After you hung up you sat there for a moment. Something passed through you, an objection, a voice, but you pushed that down too. Or at work, your boss came over, the shift was done, you were about to grab your bag. Can you handle this too, he said, lightly, as if you could actually say yes or no. Something screamed inside you, everyone inside you heard it. But on the outside there was just a faint smile. Of course, you said. Or in your relationship. You stepped back before the argument even started. Because you couldn't handle the tension a fight would create. Whatever you think, you said. But you didn't think that. You were just exhausted by the fight, before it even began. These seem like small things, don't they? No. These small things accumulate. Each one meaningless on its own, but together they slowly drain you. And one morning you wake up, where did that person go? The one in the mirror is someone you don't recognize. Tired, hollowed out, someone who said yes to everyone but never once said yes to themselves. I call this the good person trap. And this trap catches exactly the well-intentioned people. Bad people don't fall into it, they don't, because they have no trouble saying no. But you hesitate. Because you genuinely care. And ironically, that's exactly why you fall into the trap. Most people never learn this in their lifetime. Being good, and being weak, are not the same thing. Being good is a beautiful thing. Truly beautiful. Having empathy, thinking of others, extending a helping hand, these are among the most valuable qualities of being human. But being too good, that's a form of suicide. Slow, silent, the kind no one sees. Because it starts from the inside. First your boundaries dissolve, then your needs become invisible, then you forget who you are. And the world notices this. It notices immediately. Because the world, the moment it spots someone who is too good, makes a calculation, consciously or not, it doesn't matter. And it starts using them. Your empathy, your kindness, your conscience, your patience, these are virtues to you, but open doors to others. And many people walk through those doors, believe me. Some walk through deliberately. Some are so used to it they don't even notice. Psychology calls this people-pleasing. In plain terms, the disease of making others happy. You sacrifice your own needs, your own limits, your own time, your own energy, even who you are, what you think, what you feel, to make others happy. Why? Because rejection is frightening. Not being loved is frightening. Being alone is frightening. Creating disappointment is frightening. Being a bad person is frightening. Where do these fears come from? Usually from childhood. Be a good child, they said. Don't make noise. Respect your elders. Share. These weren't wrong, but somewhere something went wrong. And now as a grown adult you're still carrying that small child's anxiety. If I say no, they won't love me. But look at this irony, the more you try to please, the less respect you receive. This looks like a paradox but it isn't. It's completely logical. People assign value subconsciously. And less value is given to what is easily obtained. Every time you say, yes, you're unknowingly saying this, my time, my energy, my limits, all of these are at everyone's disposal. And people hear that. They hear it and act accordingly. They say, you're such a good person, to your face. In the back of their mind they file you under, useful. Your yes gradually becomes a habit for them, it becomes an expectation. The day you say, no, they're shocked. They're bothered. What happened to you, they say. As if you had no right. As if you were a tool, and the tools suddenly started talking. Now let me tell you a real story. Ahmet. 35 years old. A mid-level job, an ordinary life. Renting in a big city, making ends meet month to month, but managing. From the outside he looks fine. But Ahmet has a problem. He says yes to everyone. His friends ask for money, he gives it. His boss loads him with work after hours, he doesn't make a sound. When his girlfriend cries during an argument, regardless of who's right, he apologizes. He fulfills his mother's every request because mom shouldn't be upset. When his neighbor asks for help, he goes even if his own work is half done. Everyone loves Ahmet. Ahmet is such a good person, they say. Ahmet is reliable. Ahmet always helps. But nobody asks, how is Ahmet? A year passes. Ahmet is tired. Not just physically, spiritually tired. He can't sleep at night. He doesn't want to get up in the mornings. Something presses on his chest, he can't say exactly what it is. There's a constant anxiety inside him, low level but never leaving. He thinks to himself, why does everyone want something from me? But then pushes even that thought down with guilt. No, I shouldn't think like this, these are the people I love. And he says yes again. Then one day a small thing breaks everything. His friend calls again. Bro, I'm in a bind, I need some money. Same as always. Ahmet holds the phone, a moment of silence. And this time he just says, I can't. 2 words. Friend is shocked, what? Why? Did something happen? No, nothing happened. I just can't this time. And the friend, a few minutes later, says this, you've changed, Ahmet. You weren't like this before. Ahmet hangs up. And in that moment, that exact moment, he understands something. He's not the one who changed. What changed is how others treat him. For years he taught himself to be useful, without realizing it. Slowly, something he thought was a good habit was actually a chain. Now that he's trying to break that chain, everyone is uncomfortable. Does this feel familiar to you? It does, I know. Because this is the story of millions of people. Maybe your story. Let's talk science. Because this isn't intuitive, it's real. Chronic stress. While constantly trying to manage other people's emotions, you suppress your own. This suppression seems like a small thing but not for your body. Your body records every suppressed emotion. Cortisol is released, the stress hormone. It's released continuously at a low level and over time accumulates into anxiety, depression, insomnia, a weakened immune system, and even physical illness. Your body is in a constant state of alarm. Fight or flight mode, but you're neither fighting nor fleeing, you're just waiting and enduring. And that is the most exhausting of all. Resentment, bitterness from within. This is perhaps the least talked about but most dangerous one. I sacrifice this much and nobody appreciates it. That sentence sounds familiar, doesn't it? This bitterness is silent. It doesn't come out right away. It accumulates inside. And over time it poisons your closest relationships. A cold feeling you can't explain begins toward your spouse, your friend, your family members. They notice. They don't know what it is, but they sense something has changed. And you? You're no longer real. You're wearing a mask. Every day, toward everyone. And no matter how beautiful the mask is, people somehow feel the anger underneath. Manipulation, the most dangerous part. People who are too good are the easiest targets of dark psychology. Why? Because the feeling of guilt operates very powerfully in them. And people who know this, or sense it intuitively, use it. If you really loved me, you'd do this. And your insides melt. You're already such a good person, you can do a little more. And you can't say stop. I've done so much for you, can't I ask for this? And you feel as though you owe them. These are called guilt tripping. The guilt trap. And this trap works almost every time against good people. Because you're already doing everything possible to not be a bad person. Someone who knows that can pull you wherever they want. There's also the halo effect. Because you're known as a good person, people find it legitimate to load more onto you. You understand. We're counting on you. If not you, then who? It sounds like a compliment, but it's actually the elegant way of adding more weight. So what are you going to do? Selective hardness. Understand this well. You're not going to become completely ruthless. You're not going to become cold, indifferent, selfish. No. There's no need for that kind of extreme. You're simply going to do this, learn to protect your own worth, your own time, your own energy, your own limits. That's it. But that's it, is very difficult in practice. Because this has been a habit for years. For years you said yes. Now the muscles have atrophied, the boundary-setting muscle doesn't work. You have to rebuild it. First step, practice saying no. Start with small things. No need for huge steps at first. When invited for coffee, say, not this time. Let go of the obligation to respond to messages immediately, right, I'm not available right now. When someone asks something of you, don't immediately say yes, say, let me think about it, and actually think. These small practices work the muscle. And over time the big no's feel less heavy. Second step, stop before every yes and ask. Do I genuinely want to do this? How will I feel if I do this? If I refuse this, will there really be a disaster, or is that just how it's being made to feel? These questions seem simple. But most people never ask them. They live on autopilot. Pausing, this is a transformative act. Third step, set your limit, don't explain. This is very important. I can't help with this. Enough. I'm not available this week. Enough. No, it won't work. Enough. You don't owe an explanation. And the moment you start explaining, you weaken yourself. Because they'll find a gap in every explanation. Why aren't you available? What about that day? Just this once. An explanation feels like an invitation to negotiate. But a limit is non-negotiable. Fourth and heaviest step, learn to respect yourself. This sounds simple. It isn't. If you've spent years dependent on the approval of others, learning to approve of yourself is a real inner journey. And that journey is uncomfortable. Because at some point you have to accept, behind all those yes, there was fear. Not real love, fear. And seeing that hurts. But you can't pass through without seeing it. Other people loving you is not more important than you loving yourself. It never was. If you feel worthless, others will too. That's how it works. From the inside first. I'm giving you a task. After this video, 7 days. Just 7 days. Every day you will say, no, at least once. Big or small doesn't matter. But to something you genuinely want to refuse, you will say it, fully and completely. And every time you say, no, out loud or inside, say this: I have limits. Protecting them is my right. The first days you'll be uncomfortable. You'll feel strange. Maybe you'll feel guilty. Then people will be surprised. Some will get angry. Some will drift away. Good. Those who drift away weren't loving you, they were loving your useful version. Think about it, they're not losing you. They're only losing a service. That's painful, but it's the truth. Those who remain will learn real respect. Maybe they'll be surprised at first. Maybe they won't understand. But over time they'll see, you exist as a human being. Not as a tool. And you will begin to respect yourself. Slowly, step by step. And that respect will change everything over time. Your relationships, your work, the quality of your sleep, the feeling when you look in the mirror in the morning. Finally. Life is short. This sounds like a cliché, but wait a moment. Truly think about it. Every day you wake up. There are 24 hours. And a large portion of those 24 hours you spend pleasing others, meeting others' expectations, managing others' emotions. So when do you live? If you keep spending every day like this, one day, maybe 10 years from now, maybe 20, you'll look in the mirror and ask, who did I become? What did I want? What were my dreams? And there will be no answer. Because you won't be there. The version everyone wanted will be there. But the real you will have disappeared. But today you can decide. Today, right now, while watching this video, you can decide. Enough. That's simple. And that hard. Dark discipline starts here. No soft advice here. No patting your back. Just truth. If this touched you, write enough in the comments. One word. That one word tells me something, and it tells you something too. In the next video we're going into reading people like a book. For real. In depth. Subscribe. Because this channel is for those who want to rebuild themselves. For those who haven't given up on themselves. For those seeking not the easy way, but the right way. Be hard on yourself. Be selective with the world. It's still raining outside. Make a decision before you get soaked.